What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we have a very cool piece of history, the FP45 Liberator. Now, this is one of the worst firearm designs I've ever laid my eyes on, but the reason they were produced and the story behind these things is probably the best of any firearm that I'm aware of. So yes, this is the FP45 Liberator. It is a single-shot pistol chambered in 45 ACP, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know the history on these things, but if you don't, I'll go ahead and give you a quick synopsis. Nazi-occupied Europe in the 1940s, most of the civilians have been disarmed at this point, so Hitler could take over without resistance, and here in America, we came up with the brilliant idea to fly over and drop these pistols into Europe for one reason and one reason only:
killing Nazis.
It was a rush process and the manufacturing was not great, but it was a way to arm a lot of people in a short amount of time and basically give them one shot to delete a Nazi officer and steal their Walther or their Luger, which were much more capable firearms. Plus, those are 9mm, which we all know are better than the 45. Kidding. Now, quick disclaimer, this is a reproduction. The originals are out there, but they're way too expensive, and I honestly don't know how safe they are to fire. So I found a company called Vintage Ordnance that reproduces these things, and they actually follow the original blueprint, which the older ones did not, because they were just trying to crank them out as fast as possible. So from what I've heard, these are actually built a little bit better anyway. And these are the instructions that it comes with. It is only pictures, no words, I assume because everyone in Europe speaks different languages, but it is so cool to have this stuff that would have been around in the 1940s. So I think that's enough of the history lesson. Let's load it up and see if we can actually hit the target. But first, I want to thank our sponsor for today's video, TacPack. So TacPack is a monthly subscription service that sends tactical and EDC gear right to your door every month, and they offer two different boxes to choose from. The standard box, which for the month of September is $118 worth of gear for only $49.95, and their plus box will have $278 worth of gear. So if you want to support the channel and check out TacPack, be sure to use our link in the description box below or the pinned comment, and if you use code ONESHOTTV, they will actually give you a free $70 mystery item, which could raise the value of this to nearly $350 if you subscribe to the plus box. And again, a big thank you to TacPack for sponsoring the video. I really appreciate the support. All right, let's go ahead and try it out. So there is a little storage space in the bottom of the grip where you can keep 6 to 8 extra rounds, I believe, because it's a single shot, so there's obviously no magazine. But to load this thing, you pull back on the firing pin mechanism and rotate that off to the side. The first time I did that, I pinched the ever-loving crap out of my hand, and then you can see our rear sight actually pulls up, and that exposes the chamber. So you take your 45 ACP, put it down in the chamber, close the rear sight, and then bring this thing back up, and it's ready to go. There are no safeties on this thing, and we're about 10 yards away from our steel targets. From what I've heard, they were intended to be shot at very close range. And by close range, I mean point blank range. So let's see if we can hit the target. I'm gonna aim towards the bottom so it doesn't go too high. And I have no idea where it went. And you can see the firing pin came out of place. So to eject your shell casing, you do the same thing in reverse, pull that up, and then there goes our base plate. You need a punch rod to get that shell casing out. Take your punch rod and eject the shell casing. Super high speed and tactical. All right, let's try it again. This time I'm gonna go for the green target. Maybe the red one is bad luck. I'm gonna aim towards the bottom left corner. That is some spicy recoil for a 45 ACP. And the webbing between my thumb and my finger is bleeding. This time I'm gonna hold it with my pinky hanging off the bottom so it doesn't pinch my hand. So I figured it out. If you aim towards the belt line, it should go about where you want it, at least from 10 yards away. Tactical reload. Lightning fast. Now this might anger some of the purists out there, but I'm thinking about wrapping the grip of this thing in goon tape, because when your hands are sweaty, that smooth metal surface is definitely not ideal. And when I was talking to the guy on the phone from Vintage Ordnance, he said it had a lot of recoil, and I thought, I shoot 500 Magnums and crazy stuff all the time, but he wasn't wrong. For a 45, it's very unpleasant to shoot. We'll go ahead and try the one Michael Jackson glove and see if that helps with our sweaty hand problem. I want to try shooting this thing one-handed and see if we can hit the target. Going for the red one. Nice. Perfect shot. And it didn't rip the webbing of my hand off that time. Who would have thought? One thing I want to show you guys is the primer strikes on these 45 shell casings. They are extremely deep, like the firing pin is just absolutely crushing that thing. And funny enough, when it came to my FFL, we were all kind of looking at it and everyone was wondering if it would have enough force to actually set off the primer. It does. All right, we have a situation here. There is a Nazi 2-liter that has just taken 2 hostages. They look like water jugs, but I swear they're hostages. These things are supposed to be very inaccurate. So let's see if we can take out our Nazi bad guy without harming the innocents. I'm just gonna aim towards the bottom of the 2-liter since I know it shoots high. Well, we saved the day, but that is not a shot that I would want to take in a real life situation with this pistol, because most likely innocent people would be hurt. I'm going to put a spare bullet in the grip and let's go ahead and take out the hostages. Where's my rod? I mean, these reloads are just so fast. It's amazing. Oh, you didn't see that. Actually, I meant to do that because it's just so much fun reloading this thing that I wanted to do it some more. There we go. I'm literally aiming like 2 feet under that water jug just to hit it at 7 yards away. Now, one thing I've heard about the originals is that bullets would leave the barrel almost tumbling immediately, and I don't know if they were rifled improperly or at all. This one definitely does have rifling in the barrel, but it might be doing the same exact thing, which is why the accuracy is so unpredictable. And it's hard for me to bash a gun with such cool history, but this is easily the worst pistol I've ever shot in my life. And one really neat feature is when you shoot this thing, the base plate just automatically pops off, so you can go ahead and get right to your next round. It's a great design. All right, guys, we have 2 evil Nazi watermelon heads about 5 yards away that we have to get rid of, and we are gonna time the reload with a shot timer, just to see how pathetically long it actually takes. I've got my spare bullet in the grip, and I really don't know where to hold at this distance, but we'll give it a shot. I got it, barely, but I got it. The base plate feature didn't work that time. It's supposed to pop off. Meant to do that. Well, I completely missed the second watermelon and I would definitely be screwed, but the total time of those 2 shots was 11.46 seconds. So let's see what our split time was. It was 11.2. So the reload took 11.2 seconds and 2 shots was 11.46. Just call me John Wick. Well, these were designed for point blank range, so let's give it a shot. Hey, we hit the target. And there's our watermelon. It actually looks like at point blank range, these things are pretty effective. I was starting to wonder. And really quick, just to show you guys, I am not completely incompetent. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. Also a 45 ACP. See? It's the gun's fault. I mean, I do suck, but not that bad. All right, guys, there you have it, the FP45 Liberator. I'm sure some of you are disappointed that I didn't get the original, and I would love to have one of those as well, but they're usually pretty expensive, and I like to shoot guns and not have to worry about whether or not it's safe. So I went with the reproduction, but it is still very, very cool. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. I'd be glad to hear from you guys as always. If you like the video, please let me know down there as well, and hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.